I was developing this interest in philosophy, and some cases they were connected to religion in certain ways. Fonsillon, Maritain, and others, Paul Tillich. And I was reading way beyond art in all of those categories to try and match it up with philosophy of the times. And I'll give that, it wasn't my original thinking to do that so much as the thinking of my graduate advisor at Catholic University, a woman by the name of Nell Sonneman, who was a textile artist. She would say, you can only do so much, but what you do must be so well done that the angels in heaven will rejoice when they see it. And I don't know if I mentioned it to you, and I don't know how he came up with this suggestion, but my father, when I was in the 5th grade, gave me this book to read called The Basic Teachings of the Great Philosophers. And I think the author was S.B. Frost. Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, you name it, Kant, all the way up to modernist philosophy. And yet, he never preached about anything like that. And I even now keep thinking, why did he give me that book and insist that I read it? He would insist that I should read that book, and of course I should read the Bible. And I committed so many some chapters in the Bible. I could recite the whole thing because he insisted that I should learn about that, but he also insisted I should learn these other things. So when I arrived at this little 4-room high school in Forest City, North Carolina in 1945, I knew who Aristotle was, I knew who Plato was. Nobody else seemed to have known. And it was this dormant period until I arrived back at college and had courses in the humanities with people like Nathan Scott, Alan Locke, and Frank Snowden, and folk like that. And then it all came back, it gelled. And the mystery of it still is, why did my dad give me that book? And he didn't ever preach from a book like that. And yet, I think it has influenced my own art in certain ways. Paul Tillich, for example, said there's more spirituality in the sense of the human encounter in Cézanne's apples than there one finds in the Madonna by Raphael. Now that's a big statement, and hopefully he was able to back it up. But I also was taken with his notion about the courage to be. In spite of whatever, you can't let race, gender, any of those things get in the way of what you know your calling is. And that was buttressed by, later on, my reading the works of Rolla May, The Courage to Create, all the way down to the little book that Joshua Taylor wrote called Learning to Look, which I would require all of my students to read.